Welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with your host, me, Iona Meade, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And so today in my world, for living an intentional life, it is Health Freedom Tuesday. And so today we're going to be talking about balancing your health and your wealth for spiritual entrepreneurs. So if you know of a spiritual entrepreneur who probably needs to hear this, then do share this episode out. If you are watching on the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona YouTube channel, then welcome. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I've got new subscribers. Really excited to have you as my soul tribe and joining the soul family. If you are watching this in the Soul Legacy Academy, then welcome. And if you're watching this in any of my groups, thank you for being part of the community. So it's health freedom. I've got my orange t-shirt on that represents living more intentionally and looking after our health as a spiritual entrepreneur. And so as I dive into these daily episodes, they're very practical. We'll journal together, we'll visualize, we'll set intentions, we'll reflect on your health and the vision that you have for your own health, but not just your health in terms of your physical health. That's one element of health that I talk about on my 7-day vision board challenge. I also talk about your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your social health, your environmental health. I think that was all the health, but the health of your relationships, the health of the relationship that you have with money, like all of that, everything that you can think of. We want to be talking about it and we want to be raising your vibration around it so that you can experience more health. So if you're joining me live, then like this. Let me know if you resonate with this episode, and any comments, I will try and pull them up and share your voice, share your thoughts. And if you're somewhere that I can't see your comments, then I do apologize, but I know that some people are on and off with me. So this episode, I'm going to be sharing about our vibrational frequency and rating our vibration, because that's what we do. We want to, with the Seven Freedoms frequency, raise our own vibration, right? First, if I raise my vibration, you raise your vibration, then ultimately we raise the vibration of the collective, just one person at a time, and that person begins with us. Often when we are spiritual entrepreneurs and we want to do our light work in the world, we want to take care of other people first, or we want to point the finger and say, I can see what you're doing wrong. I can see, how I can help you. I can see how I can serve you, often leaving ourselves by the wayside. So balancing our own health and wealth as I'm doing this podcast and daily and showing up for you and talking about the different areas of my life. I noticed the common theme between everything that I'm learning, the books that I'm reading, the material, the people that I'm coming across, the conversations that I'm having, is our thoughts and our feelings, right? How you feel. And so I want to talk about rating your vibration on a daily basis. That's what we'll do in this podcast. So how you feel, meaning if you're in soul funk, what I call soul funk, like or if you're in soul flow, that's really, really powerful. So we'll rate our vibrational frequency. Mine is an 11. Let me know what yours is. How do you feel today? Do you feel like you're in flow, like you're connected to source, like everything is just going amazingly for you, like you're just living your best life? Like that's what I want to spread, that feeling. But when we're not, then acknowledging and processing. So with the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, I talk about contribution on Mondays, health freedom, which is today, on Tuesdays, emotional freedom on Wednesdays, environmental freedom on Thursdays, relationship freedom on Fridays, spiritual freedom on Saturday, and financial freedom on Sunday. And how you feel and your vibration and the health from all of those areas is really important. So however you feel is however you feel. You don't have to apologize for that. We're going to talk about our visioning, and then we're going to talk about expressing gratitude. I'm going to share the book that I have been listening to today, which is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And I listened to it last week, and I had some insights and stuff today, which I'm going to share before we dive into the episode. I'm going to talk about and share what I got from the book, because I love authors. I love reading. I love learning. I love growing. and I'm an author myself, and I support my students to write their spiritual awakening story and build their author platform and authority platform around their books. And it lights me up. And it's funny because I have learning dyslexia, and I'm like, okay, well, books is my thing, but it's not. They're not like reading them and rank them. I find quite painful. But listening, I love it. So I appreciate that. I'm going to share the card that I pulled for today and then another two cards that popped out. This is from Keepers of the Light. This one is, we always get whatever we need, right? This is for me and it's for you. Hopefully it will inspire you. What else are we going to do? We're going to play the Bank 50K and 50 Day Challenge. I put a space in the community for that. There's a space on Facebook right now. And I always say right now because I have private student communities as well. As I grow, as I call in my tribe, we'll transfer a lot of things over to there. But right now it's in the Facebook community. It will stay in there as long as the platform is all good, then it will stay there. But we do have a community. I don't think I have the links below, but if you find me on YouTube, then you'll find the links to my communities. All right, so let me dive in a little bit to this episode. And then I'm going to invite you to join my community, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, to come and co-create and collaborate and cross-promote and be a guest, find a guest. Actually come and shine your light and share your voice with others that are born to serve and just lift each other up and root for each other's success. I love it. So there's a monthly call, a free networking call. And I'm calling in my soul tribe. There's many of you that have raised your hand, but you haven't actually scheduled into the call yet. But that's the way it works. In order to get you the Zoom link and to get into the Zoom room, the event pages are great. I invite you in via the event page, but just saying I'm coming on the event page doesn't mean that I can see you. So I will give the Zoom link. It's on my online calendar. You need to scroll all the way down to the bottom and it'll generate the Zoom link automatically. That means that I have my business, a healthy business, that's on autopilot, right? It's scheduled out and all you have to do, and everyone all around the world who wants to come onto that call is confirm their own time zones, and then they get the link and they get sent an email without me having to do anything, without you just watching this or listening to this. I don't have to be here. So that's how I've set up my business. And I think sometimes if we're not used to that and we're not used to scheduling, or we don't have that, we're just used to the industry saying, put your name and email in this and download this. And I'm like, no, just let's come and get on a call. And that's what I call a call to conversation. So again, before diving into the episode, we've rated our vibrational frequency, and every single day we'll rate it, and then we'll add up our vibrational frequency on Sunday and see where you're dipping and where you need to raise your vibration, or if you're maintaining, or if you're declining, or if you're increasing in your vibrational frequency, right? So today, for Health Room Tuesday, I posted this on my Facebook around a few things. So the first thing, I woke up out of bed and I was listening to Louise Hay last week, and she said more again this week along the lines of her what was her, the late Louise Hay, what was her daily routine actually before I'd listened, and it was like more of a morning routine. I'll share that because I think it's really inspiring for us to take what it is that we need and leave the rest. But yeah, so she said, so she was saying that she had, I realize it's quite dark in here, I'll not turn on the bigger light. The sun was shining when I first came on, so at least it's gone in a little bit. So yes, she said that she, meditates, and when she meditates, she just closes her eyes. She asks, what is it that I need to know? Closes her eyes and listens quietly for the answer. I'm like, I can do that, because me and meditation, it's health freedom. We know the benefits of meditation, all things. We know the benefits of visualization, we know the benefits of journaling, all things. I can't do everything. We do our favorite things. If it's something that feels painful, then don't do it. And meditation feels painful to me, not really painful, but you know what I mean? It's not something that comes naturally, which, practice, I get it. but I feel in a flow state the majority of the time. And I feel like it gets me out of that flow state by trying to focus my mind, quiet my mind, do all the things. So I woke up this morning with that thought, as you do. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to do that. Like, as I've relocated and as a spiritual digital nomad, building my chops and kind of just building my business, not kind of building my business up again after fostering for a year, it's like, okay, let me introduce more things into my morning, my daily routine. Living an intentional life is doing that, using the 24 hours a day that everybody gets wisely, right? So I was like, okay, well, how do I want to launch my day? Literally, I'll talk about that. And I talk about it in every single episode. And so it's like, okay, and then how do I want to leave my day? And so one of the things I was sharing yesterday in the book that I was reading was Make It Happen. It's a Manifesting the Life of Your Dreams book. So I was like, yeah, I can do that at night. And I'd forgotten last night. So I'm like, okay, let me go to bed with this book. What else can I do? And I've been listening to Dolores Cannon. So I was like, well, I could do that. What can I do in the morning? Not really loving meditation. And if you love meditation, let me know. I'm fine. That's great. But I haven't mastered it and I'm not trying to master everything. But I know the benefits. So I was like, okay. So I sat on my bed and I had my legs crossed and I thought, I'm just going to do what Louise Hay says. Just ask, what is it that I need to know, and listen quietly for the answer. I can absolutely do that. So I'm like, kind of like this. And I'm like, here's this answer coming. This is how good I am at it. And I just sat for a minute and like thoughts came, and people say, you know, when you're meditating, quiet the thoughts. And I'm like, no, but I'm listening for something. So those were the thoughts were that I'm going to read the book and I could add Dolores Cannon. I'm really into that right now. I'm getting these really good messages and implementing and applying and resonating. So I'm like, is this what I'm going to do on the morning then? Okay, well, I'd kind of like, oh, well, that's it. Maybe like a couple of minutes. Well, that's better than nothing, right? Health Freedom Tuesday. Let's increase my health. So health and well-being. And I came downstairs and I opened up Facebook and it's not that, oh, I opened up Facebook for it to push and pull me. I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, don't check your emails, don't go on social media, don't blah, 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 blah. For me, using Facebook again to build my business, because I hadn't been on it for like ages, a year and more. And at one point coming off it for 3.5 years, I do use it intentionally. I've taken all my friends and family, meaning all of my like circle of friends offline, off there, and I'm just using it for business. So for me, that's the start of my business day. So it's not a push and pull, and I want to be intentional, reaching out to my soul tribe and having them reach out to me. So this is why I want to give a shout out. So there was one of the members who had just clicked going to my 5-day workshop for how to start a spiritual biz YouTube podcast and make money workshop. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Without even inviting. So that I'm just calling in my soul tribe. I'm putting my energy out there, but I'm also calling in my soul tribe. And then there was another lady who'd asked to join the Facebook challenge, the 7-day vision board challenge, which I've renamed back 50K in 50 days challenge, a soul income game. It used to be called that years ago when I first started this. And I was like, oh gosh, you know, she'd requested to join. There's other people that have requested to join that I won't let in. So I was like, oh my gosh. And I put on there like having a bank 50K in 50 days call to have like clarity around your vision. So I was like, oh my, I need to respond to this. So that's really cool. So it's just things that are, you know, people say, you know, to mind your mental health on social media. And I totally agree. And that's one of the reasons why I came off. And I've come back on really intentionally. And then I checked a messenger box because I'd reached out to call in my soul tribe to connect, right? And so there was a lady in there and she's really high vibes. She's like, are you here for the vibes or are you here for the breath work? And I was like, oh, okay, cool, because that's what she does. And I'm like, I'm here for all of it. You know, I really want to create a community of like minds that, you know, we can hold space for each other. We can get featured, blah, 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 blah. Because I'm seeking guests for my summit as well. So I was like, oh, let me just check her out anyway. I read all of her pinned posts, which was a phenomenal post. and she does breath work, and she told a story on her profile, which I won't share because it's not my story to tell. And then I clicked onto her Spotify podcast, which was 7 minutes of meditation and breath work, mostly breath work. I think there was one that said meditation and breath work. So I was like, this is the thing. And I've heard of breath work, and I've worked with people that do breath work and blah, 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 blah. But I haven't done it as a practice. I've done it like when I've been interviewing people and letting me know, what it is that you do. And I'm like, this is it. I can absolutely do breathing. Right. So I can, rather than trying to, sit there quite, I'm kind of like, I can do breath work. So I did 7 minutes of breath work, and I love it. And so in the morning, what I'll do is go and wake up before I get out of bed, do 7 minutes of breath work. I'm like, so improving my health and well-being and the balance of, and having that feeling of wealth in every single area of my life. I know it's going to fuel me. So it's Health Freedom Tuesday, and that's how it works for living an intentional life. And I just want to say that, when people are saying, don't do this, don't do that, I got like just confirmations of what I'd called in. Do you know what I mean? And then reaching out. Oh yeah. And then I reached out. I went on to a podcasting group, podcasting for women, and engaged a little bit, and then saw a particular post for a podcast. Again, I won't name it because it's in the, anyway, if you hit me up, I'll tell you. But hopefully I'll get featured. So I filled in the application for that. And I loved the way that the host had framed it. It's like, if you are just trying to promote your business, do not fill in the form. And I was like, that part, because it's there's an unhealthy culture around, let's just get on podcasts, and I agree, like putting our work out there, but at least come and offer value to the audience. You know what I mean? Even if you're not going to promote and you're not going to share, that's fine. But at least, it's not just, I want to take. And I've been talking about that, and I've done, and that's one of the reasons why I did the 1 week Creative Movement Marketing Media Kit Challenge. And it's 7 days, and I call it an MMMK. Creating a movement marketing media kit, meaning your movement is at the forefront of this. And that host had said, basically, like, I want to help people. I want to, change people's lives. I want to inspire people. And actually, if you're not down for that, like, she never said this exactly, but like, if you're not down for that, it's not in alignment. And basically, if you do this professionally, rather than people just like, I can talk about this, I can talk about that, and not really knowing, I call them joint vision partnerships. So that host has a joint vision that I have. And as I do the MMMK challenge, my own MMMK challenge, because I practice what I preach, right? We want my own talk. I'm looking after myself, looking after my health as I contribute in the world, as I talk about on Mondays, right? So I had filled out the form, and I'm doing like teaching my students on this as I go, like as I record. So next year when I do the MMMK challenge, I've got like a catalogue of places that I've featured, but actually the process of what I went through to get featured. And so building my author and authority platform. And so I recorded this video of me doing that. And actually I've done an application to a podcast where I'm talking about more spirituality, and I've done a my soul purpose and that path, and I've done a summit where I was talking about more of the book writing and building the business and stop writing, start selling summit, and then I filled in another one that was talking more about the spirituality and what else was that one? But they're all different angles, and I didn't realize, like, and so today it was more about the visioning and the journaling, because the host was asking about how emotions affect all 4 quadrants of your life, these 4 quadrants that they'd listed, and I was like, how it just influences and what have you done, and I'm like, actually, every single day on the 7 Frequency podcast, I get us to rate our emotional vibrational frequency, like if we're in soul funk, if we're in soul flow. And I realized that we are energy. And so like going out and getting featured and sharing your work isn't just about, and having a healthy business and having that wealth as a result isn't just about, this one trick pony, kind of like when people say just do this and just do that and what's the latest fad. And I just believe in having a conversation. I love having a conversation with people. I think it's really, really powerful. I'm just drinking my decaf coffee. All right, so let's jump into the episode and the segments that we cover on the episode, and again, raising our vibration. So the vision board challenge, the 7-day spiritual business vision board challenge, the homework of that is the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge, and the soul income game, which I'll talk about more. But really, if the idea as a spiritual entrepreneur, as a light worker, doing your light work in the world, having that life work balance as a spiritual entrepreneur, visualizing that and being at that vibrational frequency now, not in the future. So if you wanted to start a podcast, you want to write a book, you want to create a course, I have ways to do that. And I had ways on my vision board, and I was sharing in Contribution Freedom Monday how I wanted to, looking for the book, how I wanted to create multiple streams of income, and how I didn't know how to do that, and how I didn't know how to package up myself. And I wasn't even on video back then. And now it's what I teach. And I teach to write your book in a way that you don't have to upload your manuscript for a year if you don't want to. And I teach how to create your course. So it's like pre-order, how to create a course that is prepaid. It's not even created. And how to schedule out your authority platform. Like these lives, I've got to schedule some out actually. Like pre-scheduling. And so for me on my vision board is contributing, but not burning myself out. I've been in burnout, looking after 3 children, fostering 3 children for a year. And I'm like, no, this work it never burns me out, but I've got more systems around it and strategies around it. And I love showing up, speaking out and serving deep. So on my vision board, I was doing the vision board challenge today, and I saw as soon as I'd done it, and I found I created an extra place for you to post your vibrational money voucher spending as requested by a student. I saw somebody else saying, I've done it. I've manifested one of my friends on Facebook. I've done it. I've manifested all of my vision board. Like, and she passed the test and she had all these, and I was like, oh, I want to actually do more of that. So if you do the 7-day spiritual business vision board challenge, and you're up for doing the Bank 50K in 50 days homework, then for free, it's all for free on the YouTube channel, then, do that. I do it, there's a replay, and I do it live on the 2nd week in December, annually, Monday to Sunday, right? And we break each area of your life down. I'm going to put this down a little bit. I find that my head is like chopping off like half of my body. It's not really moving very far. I think that's better. Yeah, so I love it, and so you're invited to do that. Again, it's absolutely free. And if you are one of my students, I have a 7-day. And first of all, I have the vision board homework in the Soul Legacy Academy, which you can sign up for. It's $7.77, and I have other tools in there. And I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call. When the vision board challenge is live, I will gift the monthly coaching call, 1 month of the coaching call, to a winner that participates and shares it out, etc. But part of me contributing in the world and leading a life purpose-led business was having everything else in between, like knowing that it's not going to completely consume my life, knowing that I am going to have fun doing it, knowing this is my job, but I'm just sharing like every day in the moment. It's like my content. Do you know what I mean? Like, as I was saying to my niece, she laughs because she's like, I'll say something, I'm like, oh, content. This is my. I woke up this morning and here was the lesson, and here I got a connection, and here I got a routine from someone else that I now will connect with on a deeper level. Like, that's huge for me. I don't have to know everything. But I love it. And on my vision board for my health, I've just played my vision board. I remembered, okay, play your vision board before you come on live, right? Just dialing down my routine. I'm not perfect. And as I create again, I'm teaching at the same time, like, because I want to teach it how it feels from scratch. One, to document my own process, but literally I'm in the trenches, like, um, recording. And so I, everything that I'm going through to manifest this vision board. And when it gets to December, it's like, okay, what have you manifested? What have you got to manifest? How do you feel? Blah, blah, blah. All the things. I love it. And so today I have me being hench on my vision board, and I joined the gym because that's in alignment with me being hench. And I talked about this yesterday. However, the class was rude. It was hard. It was the hardest class I've ever done. Excuse me. And if you know me, I've done the insanity workout, which is insane. Excuse me. And when I used to do the insanity workout, I'd be like, oh my gosh, everything hurts. Everything hurts. It was really bad. And I hadn't had that feeling for a really long time till now. I'm like, this is worse than insanity. And I don't think it actually is, because all of my body would hurt with the insanity, but my legs feel like lead posts, like I'm like walking down the steps. And I felt the burn in the class, and I realized why I'm feeling the burn, because in my mind, I'm trying not to criticize myself. Like, no, keep going. It's okay to stop, pause, get back in. As Louise Hay says, and You Can Heal Your Life, like, not criticizing ourselves, not just being in alignment with where we are, like, just keep going, with practice. Everything that we do takes practice. And this particular exercise I've never done before, my legs. And so I'm due to go tomorrow. I literally just cancelled class because I won't even be able to do the class. I'm going to go Friday. So it's like 2 days in the week I can go. I'm going to go for a walk and stuff. But later. But I wanted to do three classes. Well, I'd done 3 classes when I was in London, but not like this. And so I don't even know, because it's a walk. It's like a 40-minute walk to the gym. And imagine walking. I don't even know if I can, to be fair. So I've given myself that grace, but I'm still on that track, but leaning into how I feel. So the vision board is there as a guide to enjoy life. Not, I've got to get to this vision. I want to be so healthy. It's not healthy if we're rushing and we're, like, working towards something and beating ourselves up along the way. That makes no sense. As I build my spiritual business and I talk about spiritual business success, for me, this is success. I'm actually, like, I don't know if you are someone who does this, but one of my biggest values is honesty and integrity, right? And so I've put on my orange t-shirt over my jammies. And I was like, oh, you're actually going to say that, aren't you? You're actually going to call yourself out. And I was like, no, you don't have to, Iona. But yeah, I do. I got my, I can't lift my leg up. I got some silky pajamas on that my daughter bought me. And I was like, I'm just having just a chilled, amazing chilled day. So if you've been watching me, following me over this last 3 months after giving up my home and becoming a spiritual digital nomad, which is a fancy word for saying I've had no home and I can work from anywhere, is just been an amazing journey so far, but a really, really challenging journey, being in an environment that was great at first because I was just so grateful to have that safe space, and then it not feeling like a safe space anymore. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's a shame. But thank you for the contrast. I can then move on. And so I've been visualizing today and visualizing my barn conversion, because I don't intend to be homeless. Like I say, health freedom, is mental freedom, emotional freedom, your your mental health, your emotional freedom, no, emotional health, sorry, your environmental health, your social health, your spiritual health, all those healths, right? Your physical health. And so my emotional and social health and environmental health all have that factor. So it's not like, oh, well, I've become a spiritual digital nomad and I don't want to ever have a home, or I am very minimalistic, but like I have a vision on my vision board to manifest my bank conversion, but do it in a way where I can travel and I can work from anywhere, and I don't have a ceiling on my income, and I've reduced all of my expenses so I can just really laser focus on that. And as I was visualizing, I'm like, okay, well, what's the next logical step? And so I'm not going to share it here, but I have got my next logical step. And I'm like, oh, okay, I might share it on environmental freedom a little bit. I do share a lot, but I want to share more on the actual challenge when I'm in the challenge by adjusting my vision and adding things to my vision board. So I'm going to probably do it there. But it feels really good. It feels really, really good. So if you haven't done the vision board challenge, then I invite you to do it. If you've done your own vision board challenge before, then great. Vision board, what, a workshop or what have you. There's lots of people that do them. Obviously, I didn't make them up, but this one's pretty cool. And then every single day, I walk through how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, what I've been doing today to build the business. I've been sharing it on socials, on Facebook. Actually, it's nice to be on there again to share each day and share my journey, because I love the memories that Facebook bring up. And so, yeah, let's talk about gratitude in the next segment, so because I can express gratitude for that rather than just telling you. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate is how I do my gratitude for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. And talking about spiritual business success, I bring 7 areas in your life into our life, my life, your life, as we do the vision board. And so, again, the 7 areas, and I talk about living an intentional life, being in alignment with your vision, being in light. Hey, thank you for the like, being in alignment with your vision, being in alignment with your values, and living that out every single day. And so each area in the 7 freedoms frequency, when we're expressing gratitude, I want to bring every single area into my now. And whether that is being grateful, happy and grateful and appreciating something in the past, something right now in the present, or something in the predicted future, then do that. Whatever you need to do, journal it out with me, write it out. I call it soul speaking into existence. That's what I'm doing. Let me know where you are and where you're watching it, where you're catching this, because it's going out, streaming out everywhere. And if there's somewhere that I can't see your comments, I do apologize. So let's do gratitude again. I've got my love heart. My daughter gave me this, and I saw my daughter for the first time in 3 months yesterday. And I ended my podcast because I was like, she's coming. So we had a wonderful day. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate, in terms of contribution freedom, being able to do this, right? And having that vision board challenge for you to be on the Soul Legacy TV, for you to be able to just do that, have the freedom to be able to contribute, share a process, systematize it, and then anyone with an internet connection anywhere in the world can go through that challenge. Have you seen when people do Facebook challenges? And I've just signed up for a few 5-day challenges actually. But they're very intense and they're very like pop up, pop down, and that it doesn't feel healthy for me to create as my business model. Yes, I can participate in other people's challenges, which I don't usually, not very often, but I have, and I'm looking forward to the ones that I've got coming up. But I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I can create a business model where I do not have to do that. I'll do Q&A, right? Because I have a challenge. I have a 5-day challenge that goes with my book, but I do the Q&A and you go through all of the material as and when you want to. And if you want to do it on that, I apologize, somebody just rang and I'm hoping that they don't ring again. And I don't recognize the number. So when you work on your phone, I don't have to, I've got my Mac, I've got my desktop, so I'm hoping that they don't ring again. So I apologize because somebody was on with me. So I love that I can contribute in that way, is what I was saying, right? So I'm happy and I'm grateful that I can and contribute in that way. And there's a couple of numbers that I've got to block, I think. So I'm happy and I'm grateful. I appreciate my health in terms of having an gym instructor support me in my health freedom. I'm super happy and grateful for that because he knows what he was doing and I don't. Although it's still the same gym where I was looking at becoming like a certified fitness instructor, which I'm still, into, and I'm glad that I've gone here because these classes, this one class, I don't know about if everybody else's classes, but it's hard. It was hard and it was good. And even if I don't do it there, it was just like, and I could do. So I'm looking forward to manifesting that. and the way forward with that. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate emotional freedom. I just feel so grounded and present and noticing and witnessing the signs, and just, as Louise Hay, I'll share in the book, she said, her affirmation is like, this is the best day of my life. And I just feel so, I've had so much contrast. And this feels like just sitting here speaking with you, even though my legs are really hurting. And it just feels amazing. Yeah, I'm so grateful. I really am so, so, so grateful. Happy and grateful. And I really do appreciate just all of it, and even like hearing my own voice and seeing my own face. Because there was a time where I'm from the UK and I'm from Leeds. My accent, hate it. I hate my accent. And people say, oh, you're so loud. And where I was, when I say the environment that I've moved from, it was that thing that I'd got before when people criticize and say, oh, you're so loud. I'm like, yeah, I am loud and I'm bold and I love it. And I'm not going to shrink myself down. So I'm happy and grateful this, being able to, just laugh, and that laugh being appreciated, and, speaking my truth. And it feels amazing. Like, I really do. I love it. It feels blissful, really, really blissful to be able to do my work again in the world. When something is, I'll say taken away from me, but it wasn't taken away from me. It's not like I'm a victim of it. But when something is removed from your life and you can no longer do it, because I was doing something else by choice. I was doing something else. I was fostering 3 children under 5 because family, and I'm going to go see the children on Thursday. Yes. I haven't seen them in a few months. So that, like, doing something else and not doing this, what I feel is my divine work, I'm like, just, like, I had the fear of camera. I don't love being on camera, didn't love my voice. And now I'm just like, I can hear my voice, I can see myself. And I'm just really grateful that I'm the version of me that can just show up, speak out, and serve deep, regardless whether somebody's on or not. And I can see that you're on. Again, comment, let me know. And if you are commenting, I'm saying comment. If you are commenting somewhere, come over to the YouTube channel so that I can thank you for the heart. I love that. Come over to the YouTube channel, or like, let StreamYard know that you're on, and then I can pull up your comment. I am streaming this out in many different places, but I just really appreciate you being here with me, because it just feels so amazing. And the more that somebody likes or hearts, then it gets shared out and streamed out. So how's your health today? It's Health Freedom Tuesday in my world, living an intentional life as a spiritual entrepreneur, as we build our business, as we go for our big vision and mission. I want to support you in looking after your mental health, your emotional. It's Sydney. I wondered who it was. Hello. Sydney is my soul sister. See, when I don't ask. And you know what, Sydney? Sometimes it's like when somebody's watching, I'll be like, what are you doing? Watching me? And I can be a bit like rude about it. But I'm so happy it's you, love. How are you doing? So thrilled. I love you too. And you love my accent. Thank you. It's a bit northern, isn't it? But here we are. I've got my niece trying to be quiet, walking up. She's got a northern accent too, haven't you? No. Just absolute dreamer, just basking in the energy of just being in a really loving environment. So thank you for loving up on my accent, Sydney. I appreciate you. So you're doing the Vision Board Challenge. Have you finished the Vision Board Challenge? And Sydney, I've actually put a place in the it's called Bank 50k in 50 days. So don't search 7-day Vision Board Challenge anymore. Search Bank 50k in 50 days on Facebook, and I've put a place where we can spend our vibrational money voucher. And then I'm going to put a place where we can stick our vision boards, and then any images that support us in that manifestation. I really want to get that going. All right, so happy and grateful. Let's continue with the expressing gratitude. So Sydney says, Health Freedom Tuesday, I went to the doctor and got a load of meds. Good. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I'm glad that you're taking care of yourself. I know that you was under the weather last week, right? Did we say under the weather? A bit off colour, whatever that is, just not feeling yourself. So I'm sending you so many healing vibes and so much love. Definitely, tap it out, do whatever else you need to do, rest up. I'm happy and I'm grateful for environmental freedom. When I posted this on Facebook again, I'm like all in there now. The breakfast bowl that I had, with my niece's breakfast bowl, she's such a beautiful soul, and the bowl said, love is what makes a home, I think, something like that. And I was like, yes. Do you know what I mean? It's just so in alignment with my values, because the contrast of what I've experienced, again, I know this and you know this, but I was eating my oats and my little bit of almond milk and my blueberries. My niece had taken me shopping when I got here. I was like so grateful for her. And and I'm eating that, and I'm seeing on my oats, it says positivity for you and the planet. Like, my brain is, so where I was in London, again, I'm so grateful of that environment, because it gave me contrast in the end. But when things are around you, or you're feeling off color, or whatever it is, you get that guidance. I talk about soul guidance, and tuning into that with ease, grace, and flow every day. When you're off and your feelings are off, and you're distracted by toxicity, it blocks that energy. And I realized, I didn't know that it was. I wasn't completely blocked, but now I'm just like, oh, I feel so chilled and present and just really grateful. So I'm grateful for my environment, to just have my bowl. just love. Sydney says, oh cool, I will find the 50k in 50 days. Yes, it's 50k in 50 days, the Soul Income Game Vision Board Challenge with Iona. I should put it in, it's in the link in the description for this show notes every single day. So, and put it on some of the training that I do with my students. I show how to put a group on the shortcut for your group, so you can find it. So hopefully that will help. So I'm happy and I'm grateful, and I appreciate, again, soul speaking into existence, relationship freedom. And so for relationships, I'm happy and grateful for the relationship that I have with you, Sydney. I'm happy and grateful for the relationship that I have with my niece. I've known her since she was 4 years old, right? And it's just, oh gosh, that just like, that hit. And it's that feeling, isn't it? It's not just like, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate it. It's like that feeling of it. I'm so grateful. And she still calls me Auntie Noni. All the people that know me really well call me Noni. And she's called me Auntie Noni since she was a little girl. And now her little boy's calling me Auntie Noni. I love it. It just lights me up. Family's everything. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the spiritual freedom, knowing that we can spend our vibrational money voucher and we are powerful manifestors, right? That for me is having a healthy relationship with me and a healthy relationship with source, guides, angels, universe, right? Just feeling that flow, feeling that ease, grace, and flow throughout my day. I love it. And the last thing, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. And I wanted to say there was something that I'll say the vibrational money voucher. There was something else. I can't remember what it is now, but I'm happy and grateful for all of the finances. Sydney says, yes, yes, yes. So again, wherever you're watching this, I see a few people on with me. Thank you for joining me. It is the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, and we are talking about living more intentionally, and health is everything. Our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, our spiritual health, our social health. There's a cat in the background. You can hear that. So what I want to do is go into the next segment of this podcast, and it's about how you launch your day and lead your day and leave your day. I talked about at the top of the podcast how I was looking to launch my day in terms of that health freedom. And so I won't go into that. But what I want to know is, how are you going to, I know, Sydney, you're saying that, you got some meds and stuff and you went to the doctors. Absolutely. If you need to go and get some external support and just really, get yourself back to feeling really great. For me, my health and going through a spiritual awakening, going through burnout, right? Doing what I was doing, looking after, 3 children, kinship, foster caring. And I say that, and I've been saying it, And it's not because I regret, I would absolutely do it again, like hands down, no matter what. Like family is just, they're my great nieces and nephews, right? So, and I'm going to go see them. But long term, you know, I'm 50 now, and it's like, okay, how do I need to launch my day, lead my day, and leave my day so that I live another 50 years? Because my goal is to get to 100. And these are my brother's grandchildren. So my brother's like, this whole process, it's so stressful. It ages you. I felt aged. And for the first time in my life, I felt aged. My niece is like, Auntie Noni, you don't ever look your age. And I was like, dude, I feel it. And I'd never ever said that, ever. And to the point where, you know, when she goes out, she's like, Auntie, you can come if you like. I'm like, you don't want your Auntie Noni come. She's like, I absolutely do. I love that feeling young and vibrant, but I didn't. My health suffered, and I'm back to that point where I feel amazing again. Not just because circumstances have changed, but my focus and my energy's changed, and how I launch my day, lead my day, and leave my day is different. So how can you put, and so Sydney, for you, I know that you were talking about putting these different things in your day. So when you are back up and running, it's like, okay, what can you let go of, eliminate, take out of your day? And how do we use these 24 hours to improve our health and well-being? And that's my movement, to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. And I'm doing my little bit right here for that. So the next segment is our soul guided action steps. So we've got 1 to 3 action steps that you can do. Mine was doing breath work each morning before I get out of bed. Breath work. And I'm committed to doing that. That's the first time that I did it today. I was just guided to that. And now I think, yeah, that's absolutely, and obviously adding the gym again. Although tomorrow I'm not going to be doing my legs hurt. I'm going to go on Friday. So it's like, okay, and add walks as well, making sure I'm doing my daily walks. So yeah, what's the 1 to 3 things that you can do? So the Bank 50K in 50 days, the Soul Income Game is next. Yes. So every single day, this journal, it's my, what I call my Soul Legacy Journal. It's a notebook, and I call it 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, because every single day we're shifting in our consciousness, right? And so I call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. We go through our spiritual awakening, we use our spiritual ascension tools, which this is one of them, and then we alchemize the process. Sydney says, but I launched my day before with the 7 minutes of silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, thanks to you sharing the miracle morning. Yes, yes, yes. Yay, I love that. Love books. Every day I share a book that's helped me, and the miracle morning is a book that I absolutely love. And I've got the Happy Pocket Full of Money, which you had recommended to me, Sydney. So, you know, these authors, as authors, I'm an author, and I teach my students to write their books and get the book out in the world. Books change lives, have the potential to change lives, especially when we take our readers out of the page. And Hello World has this 30-day challenge, right? And so this is, for me, this is part of my book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influencer's compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. This is me leveraging my light work and lifestyle on YouTube for my students, for myself, and for my subscribers. So I love it. So well done. That is amazing. 7 minutes of silence, affirmation, visualize. And Louise, the book that I'm just about to share, Louise Hay, she was talking about those exact same things as well. So if I can walk my own talk and do those things, that's amazing. So the Miracle Morning is a book that I just absolutely recommend. I've done the 30-day challenge a few times for me, and that inspired me. The Silence of Savers that Hal Elrod talks about. And if you don't know, I can't reach, hang on, no, I didn't actually. I put the books close to me so that I could reach for these ones, because the ones that I talk about, the Miracle Morning, 6 habits that will change your life before 8 a.m. If you haven't done that, it's amazing. And then the Miracle Morning for Millionaires, what the wealthy do before 8 a.m. that will make you rich. I'm about to read this one, so thank you. I'm about to read this one. Put that as part of my morning routine with my breath work, right? Yes. So
part of the launching my day, leading my day, and leaving my day was, okay, I don't want just to have a power hour in the morning. I want to carry that vibrational frequency throughout my day. How do I do that? And that's how the Chase to Financial Freedom frequency was born. It was, okay, I want to do my divine work in the world. And if you don't know, the 6 savers are silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, inscribing, journaling, right? And so I'm here, we're doing our visualizations, we're speaking out affirmations, I've done my exercise, so I do it, but I don't do it all in the morning now. I do it right throughout my day. So I love this book. I love how I work with community as well. Sydney says, yes, I'm still in Happy Pocket Full of Money and the 4 Agreements. One of our soul sisters had recommended that to me, the 4 Agreements. I have listened to it on Audible. So I'll just rotate the books like for each day. So this is health freedom. So I'll go to a Louise Hay. I'll go to something that's going to improve my health, right? I'll go to a book that supports this pillar of my freedom. I'll get what I need. So financial freedom. I'll pick up the happy Pocket Full of Money, or like the Miracle Morning is more like throughout the day, or I'll pick up Think and Grow Rich. Do you know what I mean? Like the books that we want to have support our life, right? So the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, we spend our vibrational money voucher on our vision board. So you've got to be able to create a vision board first before you spend your vibrational money voucher, because you don't know what you're spending it on, right? So do your 7-day vision board challenge again in the show notes or in the description. I'll leave that. It's breaking down each area of your life, and then whatever you put on your vision board, you spend your vibrational money voucher on those things. So this journal gives you £1,000, dollars, euros every single day, and you spend it. You type 10% because you want to be the person that you're proud of with money. Right? Rather than like, I repel money, money's no good, money's the root of all evil. Money's not the root of all evil. Money's a tool, money's energy, and we can use it for positive, we can use it for good. So we can use it for tithing to a worthy cause. My worthy cause is a charity called Compassionate Friends, and it's a charity for bereaved parents, because I am one. My son passed 8 years ago, and I dedicate my soul work to him. So that for me feels amazing. And then the other 900 you can spend throughout the week. You can spend it all today, or you can carry over the remaining balance over each day. And on Sunday, you have to spend the vibrational money voucher. So the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge is about banking £1,000, dollars, or euros, wherever you are in the world, every single day, feeling the feeling. So over 7 weeks, right, you've got 50K that you will spend. $50,000, pounds or euros, right? So you're like, oh, if I had that money in my business as a spiritual entrepreneur, do I think I'd have life work balance? Do I think I'd be able to do the things? Do I feel like I'd have more freedom? Would my family benefit from it? Would the planet benefit from it? Me having that money, right? Would my emotions, would my health, right? My environment, how would that change? Right? So that's it. And then it's like, oh, now I'm in alignment with that, because I can really see and feel it. Bring it. So then we build the business model that can handle that. And I love it because it's passive and leverage income streams that I share, including your book, your course, your VIP days, your workshops, your whatever, your mastermind, your self-study courses, whatever it is. I call it your soul signature system, right? And I have my soul signature system where if I bank 50K in 50 days, it's going to be, I know what channels that money is coming to me from, as well as being open to it just coming. But in terms of contribution, there's the price point, because oftentimes we don't have the price point. So it's like, well, what does 50K look like in my business if I was to enroll students in this or in this or in this? Let's do the maths. And so this is what this is. This is trying it on and raising our vibration. And the more spiritual entrepreneurs and light workers come out of the vibration around fear of failure, fear of success, and fear of selling, the better. Because we do know better than to be in living and dwell in a low vibration, because we are here to raise the vibration of the planet. But if we don't raise our own vibration, how are we going to be? It's like, oh, well, if I don't love myself, how am I going to love someone else. Well, if you're vibing lower, because fear is at the lowest vibration, and guilt and overwhelm and all those things that spiral us down, we've got to take responsibility and use our tools, this tool, to raise our vibration. It's visualization, journaling. I love it. So that is the bank to give for today's challenge. I'm going to pull the card. I think I talked about Louise. No, I've got some more about Louise Hay. Then I'll share the book and I'll invite you to the call. So I attempted to pull a card, but these two just popped out afterwards. But this is the card that sort of landed with me, and hopefully you can see it. No, you can't really, but I'll read it anyway. Hilarion, I think it's called. So Sydney is like Oracle deck and Tarot Queen, and I get all of the names wrong, but I love green. Green's my favorite color. So it says divine healing. So it is Health Freedom Tuesday, right? Honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. I love that. And I'm in my pajamas, and oh gosh, if I lift my legs up, my legs hurt from doing the gym. I lift my pajamas up in green pajamas, retreating and recharging. And yes, I'm on the live, and yes, I'm sharing what I'm doing, but I'm just sat here having a conversation as if you were across from me. Sydney and I have not met. Sydney's a soul sister and a student of mine, and I will be a student of hers as she, births more of a workout in the world and gets a book written and all the things, and a tarot deck created, right? But it's just like having a conversation. People are so fearful of marketing. This is a YouTube video. This is a podcast. And it's a Facebook live stream, a Twitter live stream, and it's also embedded in my Soul Legacy Academy and my online teaching portal. Like, you're like, why would you do that, Iona? Like, well, this is my marketing. I'm just saying, just having a conversation. Like, I don't have to think of lots of things to create. I'm just sharing my life. So honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. That obviously applies to you as well, Sydney. Your light can support others. But if we are behind closed doors, in the dark, not birthing our light, not really, not wanting to be visible, we're not shining our light. So I'm just saying, just calling y'all out. This is Odin or Odin. Psychic insight. Your third eye is open. Seek truth for what is. Follow your intuition. Oh, how class is that? Thank you. I love it. Next one. Lady Portia, divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding every single day. I'm just sharing it with you. Yes. Confirmations. Don't need them, but it's just really nice and really fun to acknowledge and have that conversation, with my guides, angels, and just energy. And I want to share that. So again, just visiting with my niece and stuff, and she's doing like nails and stuff. And I remember the time when she first started out with her nail business, and she had this box, and I was like, you could do it. And now it's been years on. I slapped my leg and it hurts. Ouch. And she is on, and I'm just so proud of her. She's amazing. She's got a business of her own, and she's just doing amazing. So I'm in that kind of environment. And I said, what do you want me to take you, bring up a coffee? So I did, and she said, thank you. And then I heard a song that played at my son's service, and then I was going to say funeral, and I found that really hard to say. And I was like, wow. And she just told her client, which she told everybody, that's my auntie. That's my Auntie Noni. That's the one that gave me the car. And it's just beautiful to be here and know that I'm in that place, and just getting that confirmation from my son. Like, I've got you, Mum. I'm like, well, why would you have me have so much contrast, kid? Nobody can save us from the lessons, right? We've got to get the lessons. So I want to leave you with the book, Sharing Insights from Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And if you've never read that book or listened to it, I'm not sure if it's on, like there's an audible version on YouTube or not, but Louise Hay was saying that basically learning the lessons for learning the spiritual laws, like you've got to learn the spiritual laws by the letter and follow them to the letter. They're not going to bend to you. They're laws. So you're not going to learn the law, like it's not going to work. And she says about the law of attraction and all of the laws. So she says, again, doing the daily work and what her daily routine was. And this is what she said as well, because Sydney was sharing. She's about sitting in gratitude. And she says about this whole process is like a practice. Like when you are doing something new, like exercising, or you're doing something new, like learning computer or techie stuff for you, Sydney. It's like it feels weird at first, and then it'll become second nature. So she says her daily routine included affirmations, enjoying exercise, visualization, reading and studying. It's like learning a new language. Sometimes it's like, I've set that intention for the day and it feels really overwhelming. And she said, it does at first, but then you just get used to it. Like I'm talking about living an intentional life, how you're launching your day, leading your day, leaving your day. It matters. And she goes through like what she does through her work and thanking the food and blessing her food. And if she was sitting with somebody else, then she'd bless them, then bless her food. And then she didn't have a stressful day at all. Like her day sounded like magic. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's how I started my day today. That's how do you know what I mean? I'm leading my day. There's a lot of people who are super busy, and I know what that feels like to be busy and overrun and off your feet. But it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, and I want to feel good, and I know that I can manifest in my life, and I can use my time. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's not in this moment, but setting that intention on that vision board. I'm not saying magically do everything right now. That's not what I'm saying. And then she says, what else is she saying? She wakes up thankful. So she says that sometimes she might sing her affirmations. And I wrote down what she actually said, and because I've got early dyslexia, I can't even read it. But she says things like, Louise, she used to say things like, Louise, I love you. You're surrounded with everything that you need to know will come to you. And everything's working out for you. Everything that you need to know that's relevant will come to you. And thank you and bless you. And then she'd listen to a tape throughout the day. Again, I listen to Audible books. I love it. And so she just shares how her day went. And that's what I'm saying about launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day. How are you doing that? Sydney said, I believe that there's an audio version of You Can Heal Your Life, but only through Hay House. I think it's on, because I have a playlist of some of the books that I recommend. And I'm not going to say remind me, but I'll write down to have a look at that, and I'll post it in the group for the playlist of some of the recommended books. It's in the community for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, but it's in the private community, because in Thinkific I have private communities, right? And when my students sign up for certain things, there's a private community. Because I've been offline, it's inactive. There's some students in there, but it's not like an active place. So I wanted to bring everything back out into Facebook, and I'm duplicating some things and not others. And I haven't posted the recommended playlist, but when we get onto the monthly call, I want to have that playlist there for everyone, because the books are just amazing. And so, yeah, I think there's a version of that on YouTube that you can listen to. Not that it's not, I didn't put it there. I'm just saying. But I bought the book. I bought the Audible book. So that is it for this episode. So I invite you to come onto the monthly networking call, click in the show notes or the description. Yes, some of you have said, I'm coming onto the call, but unless you actually click to get onto the call, click on my online calendar, you're not registered for that call, and you can't come into the Zoom room with me. So I would love to have you in there. My calls are scheduled out for the next 7 years, so it helps me out by you just doing that, following that instruction of going to the calls, scrolling all the way down to the end of my online calendar, and then we can co-create and collaborate, root for each other's success. I want to continue on this conversation because I think it's important. I think looking after ourselves as we birth our gifts out in the world is a worthwhile endeavor. So that is it. Thank you so much. Sydney says it might be on YouTube also, but not Audible, i.e. Amazon. What, the You Can Heal Your Life? It's definitely on Audible because I listen to it every day. And then there's an audio version on YouTube in a playlist. So yeah, I have it might be on YouTube but not on Audible. You Can Heal Your Life is. I'll send a screenshot. Yeah, I've listened to it for years. I bought it years and years and years ago. I might even have it on my Kindle, to be fair, as well. I might have done it on my Kindle years ago, but yeah, I love listening to Louise Hay House. Sydney says, "Oh, I was mistaken. It's available on." It is available on Audible because I've got it. Yeah, it is. And there's an audio version on YouTube as well in the playlist. There's lots of books that I recommend, and as you're doing stuff, and what I've been doing. Just like as a side note, as I'm building the business again, as I've been downloaded the episodes for this YouTube podcast and putting them on Spotify, and then they're going out, is listening to something as I do that, as I send out friend requests and reach out to connections in groups, as I welcome people in, as I tag people, as I do all of those things that could feel mundane tasks, I actually fuel my mind at the same time, and that's the way that I kind of get more done. And I'm learning to do that again because I've got out of the habit of doing it. So I'm like, oh, how can I really be intentional with my time? Sydney said there was a hard division between the two in the beginning, between YouTube and YouTube and podcasting. Absolutely. Is that what you mean? Absolutely, there was. And I was back in the day where I was on Google Hangouts, and there was Facebook Lives coming in, and then podcasts kind of got a bit more popular, and people were going off, and I never bothered with it. And I didn't love being on camera, but I did it because it's like, oh, there's power in video. And now, because when I've done my summits, I've always said radio. So I was on Blog Talk Radio back in the day. And then now it's like, okay, podcasting. And because YouTube have got the podcast tab, I'm not like buzzing about that. So literally it's, okay, this is a YouTube podcast. And people said that if somebody's watching, you can't repurpose it because when you're listening, the experience is different. And I'm like, well, we're not daft. We're not stupid. At the end of the day, we know so that's why I teach when we build our author and authority platform. If we build it on YouTube, YouTube is our vehicle to, feed all of our socials. I'm not on all of the socials all the time. This is my one-stop shop. And this feeds everything, but this is part of my book. This is what's in my book. And also it's what I teach my students. So I've got a 2-hour monthly coaching call based on the 7 freedoms frequency. So it's my work that I get paid for, and it's my marketing, and it's my podcast, and it's my Facebook Live, and it's my YouTube video all in one that I do in my jammies. I can't even think of anything better. There was a division. I thought you meant there was you don't do a YouTube channel and a podcast. Between Amazon and Hay House, were they? Okay. Louise Hay inspired me for the self-publishing. I have the Soul Legacy TV Press, public and published YouTube promotions agency, because that was inspired. That's what I wanted to do. And I have soul guided instructors in the Soul Legacy Academy because I saw the Mind Valley guy, Vishen Lakiani, and I think that's his name, and Louise Hay bringing in teachers, and I was like, I want to do that for the Soul Legacy Academy and the Soul Legacy TV. So I'm inspired by certain things and I apply other things, but I didn't know that because of the publishing stuff. And the only books that I will publish are my students. I don't intend to try and take over the world, but I do want to help my students out with their self-publishing journey, because I think there's a lot. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So thank you for being on this journey with me. I really appreciate it. If you're listening to this, watching this, then do subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. Please do share this out if you found it of value. Share it on your socials. Invite somebody in when we're live. I do schedule these out. It's in a playlist if you want to check out other episodes. Every single day I'll come live and I will share how I'm living an intentional life and what life work balance means for me in all of these 7 areas. I think it's time that somebody actually shared in real time what this journey actually can be for all of us. So thank you again. I definitely say share your voice and shine your light, because you were born to serve. Big love. Take care.